Don't rub your hands together with me.
That was accidental.
I'm sure it was.
If anybody is rubbing their hands with glee at maybe killing a player character, it's me. It's obviously me.
Yeah, but we can't see your hands, Dom.
So,
That's it. You can now.
for our listeners, I just said, shall we start the recording going? Dom said, why not? And I said, because Otto's about to die just as I started recording. And apparently I was rubbing my hands together. Hopefully. No, it wasn't. That's just the thing I do. Sweaty palms.
Fair enough.
I'm sure you didn't need to know that.
Well, now we do, and we are all the better for it. Welcome back, listeners, to Tales from the 20 Side, a Pathfinder 2nd edition. Do you know what? Just to interrupt myself there, I had a really strange urge to say best-selling then, and I don't know why. That's really weird.
It is a bestseller.
To a Pathfinder 2nd edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm your GM for this game and for many others, and I'm joined by Stu.
I'm also a bestseller, just saying.
I'm joined by Neil.
I'm stood beside my unsold pile of rapidly cooling hot cakes.
I'm joined by Darren.
I sell seashells by the seashore.
I was about to ask if they were on the seashore or just in some nondescript location. There we go.
Out of a bin. I sell them out of a bin in a ditch next to a Morrison's.
And I'm joined by Aby.
I've read a few bestsellers. Does that count?
Yes.
Yeah, that counts.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
I think the ability to read kind of trumps us all at this table. Except for Dom. Dom has to read the AP.
I
Don't
do.
you have to read for your job?
Well, I do prefer improvised jobs.
I was going to say, I thought actors just downloaded script into their brains and then they know it all forever. That's how it works, right?
Yes.
One day.
I can still remember a couple of scripts from short films I did years ago.
It's strange the stuff your brain holds on to.
I was talking recently on Facebook to some of the cast members from a play I did 17 years ago. And it's amazing the amount of lines I can remember from that. Absolutely astounding.
But don't you ever have that dream where you've been called back to perform the play again, and of course all the others have been rehearsing and learning their lines, and you're just going on with what you can remember from 17 years ago? And
no,
that's
no.
I have that dream a lot.
Sounds like an anxiety dream.
Well, I've also had a variation of it where I did that. I went on stage not knowing my lines because I hadn't learned them all, and I didn't care, and so I just said whatever came to mind, and I saw the producer or the director run out of the room crying, and the lady said, "That was all right, wasn't it?" And she just said, "You fucked it up. You fucked up my play. That was the one chance we had, and you couldn't even be bothered to learn it." That stayed with me. The feeling I had from that stayed with me for a few days after I woke up.
Sorry, just to check, is that an actual story or is that a dream?
That's a dream, a variation on that. Variation on the performing a play.
Okay.
But I have. I think most of us have had the experience of performing a play, and then there's a long interlude. Maybe a year later, you perform it again, and it sparks that kind of trigger. Think, oh shit.
It's easier to relearn it than it is to learn it in the first place. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It all comes back much more quickly the second time around.
Poor Amy's left out of this.
Well, so the last play that I was in was when I was in year 6, so I'd be quite scared if they asked me to come back and try to remember my part. I was a mouse in Alice in Wonderland.
I was, 3 years ago, something like that?
Oh, no, it was a while ago now. I don't know how long. I'm not going to say how long.
What, 40, 43, something like that?
Oh, at least 60 years. I didn't know I'd gone that grey.
I got to look over Zoom then.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of auditioning and plays and stuff, Darren, you've been for an audition recently, haven't you?
Yeah. went to audition for a short film at the London Film Academy. I think it's a third-year project. And my first audition in, I think, since before the start of the pandemic. So, yeah, it felt rusty and, yeah, a bit like, I don't know if I'm any good at this anymore or not, because it's been a while. But it was good to do it.
Yes, but it's a muscle, isn't it? Like any other. If you don't use it, it becomes atrophy. But it comes back soon enough. And I've seen your work, mate. I know you're a good actor.
Thank you.
So you just need to get back into it.
Yeah. There is a theatre course that I'm looking at possibly starting in September, but I just need to weigh a few things up first.
Ooh. Can you say where it is? Or?
It's in Ealing. It's a part-time foundation course. It's like a year long. And I've not done any theatre, and I thought it would be a good way to keep my feet in the water whilst I'm not getting any work.
Have you not done theatre before? That's really interesting.
No, it's all been film work.
Right, I'm sure Dom and Neil will concur with this, but usually the way in is to do theatre and then you get into film, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's kind of the industry approved way.
Well, drama schools are
certainly not the only way.
Drama schools, for the most part, they teach stage acting, don't they? And then and they'll have a little module which on how to adapt your performance for screen. But largely, it's theatre based. I mean, there are some film schools. The second to last, actually, the last two student films I did, they both had actors from the college who were doing a film based acting course.
Well, ALRA, the Academy for Live and Recorded Arts, they've closed now.
Very recently closed.
Really upsetting, but they had a massive focus on film work. Because, of course, it's a totally different skill set. That's what a lot of people don't. Actually, I've argued with a lot of actors in the past about this. Because I say it's a completely and utterly different skill set, like plumbing to being an electrician.
And there are different skill sets within that. For instance, if you get a part in a serial drama, what they prefer to call soap operas, well, that's a different set of skills to working in feature films. I mean, Anthony Hopkins was once famously asked, "Is it true that in learning your lines you'll repeat them 100 times?" And he said, "No, I do it 200 times." And there was the story about someone who knocked on his trailer door one morning and said, "Here are your new sides. We've changed the script a bit." So he said, "Well, I'll see you in 2 weeks then, while I go off to learn it properly." Well, he would not be able to act in a soap opera where they give you the sides on the day. So these are we just changed it. Can you do this bit and this bit? And it's
just as you're walking on set sometimes.
Yeah, and I think it's much underrated working in soap operas, but it actually is a discrete skill set in itself. So, but yeah,
I have seen some very famous soap opera actors actually live on stage. Fuck me, they were shit. I mean, absolutely fucking appalling. Bad. I'm not going to name them for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But really, really, really bad. Couldn't enunciate properly, couldn't project. The range was it was up and over the top one moment, it was like underplayed the next. It was painful.
Which is why
I'm
they
sure
should do
fine on soaps.
Well, yeah, but they should do what Darren's going to do and do a conversion course. Go and train on. You got to, yeah. I mean, people think that they can. It's about the only art form where people think, "Yeah, I could do that." You don't see someone in an orchestra playing a violin say, "Yeah, I could do that," or someone doing ballet and think, "Yeah, I could do that." But someone's working in a movie. It looks easy, yeah, but actually, it's a very different. I prefer stage acting to screen acting. I like the buzz of the performance of just doing the whole thing
Yeah.
And I also think, when people are doing sort of hammy acting in a soap, when this real sort of coarse acting, I think, well, yeah, that's because the directors told them to do it like that. It's a director's screen is a director's medium.
Yes, no. That's a really long discussion that we could have for several hours.
I just opened that can of worms.
Well, speaking of cans of worms that you may have unwittingly opened, Otto is on his own. He's surrounded by skeletons.
Oh no!
What's happened there, folks?
Otto is not on his own. He is with Clovis, who has given away his own position. So I have 3 questions about our situation. First one is, how far are we from this junction where these skeletal guards are crossing?
Shouldn't your first question be, can I have infinite questions, please?
I have 3. 3 will suffice.
There we go. All right. So the answer to your first question, the house that you, the ruined building that you and Clovis are holed up in, is. Let me just measure it quickly. So from as you were approaching this junction, you could see it was kind of vaguely in a Y shape. With obviously you approaching from the bottom of the Y. In the centre of this thoroughfare, and you can see the streets are a good sort of 15-20 feet wide at any given point. The skeletons, actually, I'm going to flip that slightly. If you imagine the Y has been inverted, so you're coming from the north, so it matches the map that I've got.
Okay.
The skeletons were coming from the left of the Y. They sort of manoeuvred into the centre of this junction, in which you could see a ruined stone fountain with a sculpture of a knight on a horse that has been kind of smashed to pieces or fallen apart over time. They appeared to be crossing from the left of the Y to the right of the Y, and Clovis and Otto, the building you have hold yourselves up in, from the centre of the Y is maybe 40 feet away.
40 feet. And on which side of the road?
As we look at it, you are on the right.
Right, 40 feet.
What's your second question?
So am I in sight of Clovis? Can I see him?
Yes. So you and Clovis have both bundled into this same kind of collapsed structure, where you had to kind of look around quite quickly. The two of you have squeezed into quite a heavily collapsed building. Being small yourself, and obviously Clovis is a halfling. You've taken advantage of that, and you've tucked yourselves within the rubble.
Being small is cool.
Yes, because I was going to see if I was going to get Clovis. If Clovis wasn't with me, if he was hidden somewhere else, I would just get him to run, and I would stay hidden. And presumably, when these guards come down this road, we will be visible.
I mean, not necessarily. Like the building you're in, you have managed to tuck yourselves kind of out of sight of the road. The only reason that these individuals have gone on any kind of alert is that as mentioned, as they were clomping past you, the vibrations from their heavy metal boots, where you and Clovis had pulled yourselves into this building, it shook some of the rubble loose, and it's gone clattering into the ground.
Then I'm going to signal to Clovis to be quiet and to stay hidden. And,
all right, okay.
We will watch what the guards do.
Yeah, sure, okay.
The warriors.
In that case, I'm assuming we are all done with the pre-game, and we're just going to get into it.
I'm picturing heavy metal boots as like with lots of pentagrams on and chains and.
That's it. They've all got Iron Maiden patches across the back of their
Yes, I was thinking Iron Maiden skeletons. Each time they take a footprint, then it's like a little bit of thrash metal. Yeah,
that's it. Every skeleton is a variation of Eddie.
Yes.
Yes.
There we go.
Are there any hills we can see?
There are not, I'm afraid. So you would have to run pretty far to get to them hills. But we may or may not be about to bring our daughter to the slaughter. Our daughter being Otto.
Well, he is a stranger in a strange land.
Yes.
And I tell you what, it's funny as the two of you are contemplating what to do next, you happen to glance outside this collapsed building, and you see that it has the number 22 carved on what was the door.
I like it.
Not 666 then, because that is the number of the beast.
No, but this is as you glance across the road, you see that there's a small name plaque that says Acacia Avenue. So there we go. Right, enough of that nonsense. Let's find out what happens for Otto and for Clovis. So yeah, you see this group of skeletal soldiers who were clearly off to fight some enemy. You're not sure if it's real or if it's and just some kind of echo of the past that these skeletons believe is real.
Are we talking actual skeletons?
Oh yes, these are
animated skeletons.
Fully animated skeletons. You see all the flesh has rotted off their bones, and yeah, you see nothing but bone staring out of the armor. And this heavy plate armor that they're all wearing, it's worth mentioning. It looks quite run down. It looks tarnished in places. It's sort of beaten up. It's dinged. Parts of the breastplates and the shields are splintering or broken in places. So yeah, they look very, very old, Otto, as you kind of get a look at them. But as this clatter happens from where Clovis is, you hear this group of skeletons. They talk amongst themselves for a moment, and after a moment, you hear them say, "4 of you." It's more of a rasping skeletal voice. Obviously, not a proper fleshy human soldier's voice. The 4 of you go check it out. We'll meet you at the eastern checkpoint. For Emerald, Sergeant. And you see the group split into 2. 4 of these soldiers fan out across either side of the street, and they begin advancing in your direction, whilst the rest of the group breaks off and disappears down the right hand section of the Y. So, kind of as Otto, my question to you, as you see these skeletons sort of split into a search party of some sort on either side of the street, what do you do?
Well, they're going to find us. I wonder how fast they can run in that armour. Perhaps we should just turn tail and run.
Is that what you want to do? Do you want to grab Clovis and just see if you can run out of there?
Let me just see what I can do. I have fleet step or something, don't I? Yes, I will grab Clovis, and can I? Yes, with fleet step. We will run. I will apply fleet step, and we run down the road.
All right. Okay.
Also, I have to ask: did I notice that these skeletal warriors had shooting weapons?
So these skeletons, they appear to be armed with long swords. Long swords and shields. You can see one of them carries what looks to be a halberd, sort of dented and broken. But from what you can see, you don't see any. You see no crossbows or short bows or anything like that.
Right, we're going to run for it.
Going to run for it. Okay. In that case, Otto, I would like you to please roll initiative.
Ooh.
Initiative. Is that...
It's perception.
Initiative, perception. I've got fortitude, reflex, will... perception. Oh, 29.
That is a very good roll, Otto.
19 on the dice.
So fleet step.
You perceive that skeletons are running at you.
They are made of bones.
One thing I would say Otto, is that fleet step you can only cast on yourself.
Yes.
So you're just going to leave Clovis behind?
No, he can run too, but I'm smaller. I'm a dwarf. I can't run as fast.
He's a halfling.
Yeah, well, he will have to just run. He'll have to do what
I
he can.
think Clovis can run reasonably well.
Yes.
I think he can. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Halflings are quicker than dwarves, aren't they?
Yeah, we're not as slow.
You like to think so.
Bulky.
All right. So Otto,
I do think so.
All right. So Otto, I at the start of. Sorry, just checking something. Yeah, cool. Okay, so Otto, with your fantastic perception roll of 29, there, I can tell you that you are the first to act in the initiative order. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you 2 actions to cast Fleet Step on yourself. You have 1 action remaining. What would you like to do with it?
Run.
You just want to burst out of the house and run. Right?
Yes.
So, in that case, as Otto, as the next person to act is Clovis, that is actually going to take us into a chase. So. Right. Okay. So, as the two of you break out from this hiding place, from this place of cover, Otto, with your zooming speed, you burst out of the rubble and you start streak. I guess you're running back in the direction that you were in previously.
Yes.
All right.
Back to the others.
Okay. So in that case, Otto, I would like you to make. So Otto. Sorry, Clovis is lagging far behind you as you start to streak away from him. So you just start off by running. Please, could I have an athletics roll, please?
Athletics.
For skeletons.
23.
23. Okay. Okay. So as you start sprinting, you kind of hook your arm under Clovis's. So you're kind of giving him some of the benefit of your speed as you kind of pull him along with you. It was 23 on the athletics. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I can tell you as you burst out of the rubble, you hear these rasping voices. Over there, infiltrators, catch them, slay them, and you hear clanking of metal on stone as all 4 of these skeletons start giving chase after you. You start rushing down the path that you've just taken, and you chance a glance over your shoulder, and you can see that although you've made good progress, these skeletons seem to be very fit and able, or at least would have been in life, and they are managing to keep pace with you for the time being. It's back to your turn, Otto. Is there anything in particular you would like to do here? You can see that coming up ahead, there is a fork in the road.
A fork in the road. Which way did we come from?
You came from the left, but is there anything you want to do here to potentially try and throw them off your scent?
They're keeping pace with us, so they might catch me or Clovis.
I mean, what I would say is keeping pace is a strong term, but like you guys, you are making ground on them, but you are making ground very, very slowly. You don't know if you're going to be able to fully get away from them just by running alone.
Right. In that case, I will do something else. How are they spread out very far?
They are spread out. You can see they formed a searching pattern on either side of the road. So two groups of two. The first two are 15 feet apart, and then staggered, kind of 10 feet back from that. The other group on the other side of the road.
Right. Then I will try something new. I will try a new trick. I will cast a new spell.
Ooh, exciting.
Called Crashing Wave.
Crashing Wave, okay. Have a look at Crashing Wave. What can you tell me about it, Otto?
The saving throw is a basic reflex. I summon a crashing wave that sweeps away from me. It deals 66 bludgeoning damage to creatures in the area. The water also extinguishes non-magical fires. Heighten +1, the damage increases by 2d6.
Ooh.
That is very, very interesting. Okay, so they have to make a reflex save, correct?
Yes.
Right, so all four of them. What's your DC?
My DC is... So my class DC or my spell DC is... 22.
22, okay. Right, so as what does this look like, Otto, as you blast this water back behind you?
It looks like the ground has rippled in front of me, and then suddenly water seems to come out, and it just spreads out into this massive surfs up this wave that comes and just breaks over them.
All right, okay. So you see that kind of as you turn around and you start conjuring this magic, you see the lead skeleton calls out, Spellcaster, watch out for magic, and sort of throws himself to one side as this wave surges up. The next one leading on the other side doesn't hear him in time and is just roll 66 for me, please, Otto.
66. 19.
Oh.
19, okay. So you see the second of these skeletons, the first leading on the other side of the road. As this water hits it, it is shattered to pieces.
Wow.
That one rolled a natural 1 on its save, so double damage. It is smashed to pieces. 19. So you see that the skeleton immediately in front of you is it's able to throw itself behind what looks like a collapsed pillar, but you still see it takes a nasty strike as it is hit with the water.
It would have been nice if I'd knocked her leg off or something. That would have slowed him down.
Sadly, that's not how hit points work unless the stat book specifically says.
Right.
It was 19, wasn't it? So
yes.
9. Okay. The two behind it also aren't quick enough. They don't see this coming. They take the full damage, but you see they are still just about standing as this water washes over them. And at that point, I think where you've had to stop to cast your spell, you've got one action left, Otto, but you can see they are going to get up to you when it comes around to their turn.
Run again.
You just want to run again, okay?
Yes.
Okay. So as you continue running, Otto, you do hear the clomping of boots rushing up behind you, and you look over your shoulder just in time to see one of these skeletons gets up in range, and it takes a swing at you with its sword. Okay, so it's going to be sword 22 to hit, Otto.
Yes, that hits.
That hits. Okay. So it rushes forward, and you hear a shout of, "For the glory of Remerund, I will purge you from this land, fey beast." Oh, that's a bad damage roll. Otto, you take. Wasn't a D8, that's why. There we go. Otto, you take 12 points of slashing damage as it slices into you with a sword. The other two basically spend the rest of their turn rushing up. All three of them are now within range of you. We are round to your turn.
What can I do? I think I will run again. Is Clovis is still running, is he?
Clovis is next to you. We're dropping kind of properly into initiative at this point, so he will have a turn after you.
Right. They're caught up. I will run again.
You want to run? Okay. So Otto, as you turn to run once more, you see all three of these individuals with their swords ready. They lash out at you with them. 3 attacks of opportunity coming your way. 16's a miss.
It's a miss.
27's a hit.
Yes.
And 24's a hit.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 hits, 1 misses. Oof. That's a total of 23 points of slashing damage, Otto. So as you turn to run, you see the first of these individuals swipes out at you with the sword, but you duck it just to run straight into kind of the two next to it, swinging with a backhand as they strike you. But you do get to move. So what's your speed with Fleet Step active?
My speed with Fleet. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of trouble with my. Just adjusting my hit points. My speed with Fleet Step is.
I think it's 50. I want to say. That's 30.
I gain a 30-foot status bonus to my speed.
Yep, so what's your speed normally?
My speed normally is 20 feet. 20 feet. So
50 feet. So you break 50 feet away from the group, Otto.
Yeah.
That ends your turn. We are round to Clovis. Clovis sort of sees you bolt, and he calls over. Hey Otto, wait a second! I can't run that fast.
Just to interject, wouldn't it be 150 feet? Because Otto didn't do any. He only ran for 3 actions.
Oh, if that's what Otto wants to do, then does Otto want to get that far away?
Yes. Yes, he does.
With 3 actions, that's.
Okay, in that case. I'm glad I've got a big map set up for this.
Well,
as you may have guessed by just hearing me tap on my keyboard a whole bunch of times. So yeah, we get around to Clovis's turn.
Clovis.
Yeah, Otto's just fucked off and left him.
I must warn the others. That is my priority.
Okay, so you see Clovis sort of seeing that all three of these creatures have taken swings at you, Otto. He sort of calls out as you bolt away. Otto, I can't run that fast, mate. But he will, seeing that they've already kind of reacted, he will run after you. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 15. He covers about half the distance that you did Otto, and and you can see that you're starting to lose sight of him where you're having to wind kind of through these city streets. On their turn, basically they continue stomping up the fairway. They get up to Clovis once again. Otto, it is your turn.
And I'm presumably 75 feet away from
yes,
Clovis
you are.
by this time.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to run another 150 feet.
All right. So, Otto, I think at this point you probably had a couple of rounds before you got to this point. Do you just want to run until the spell runs out?
Yes.
All right. So, bear with me 1 second. I need to roll some dice.
Clovis.
Poor Clovis. I will miss him.
Oh, he's the best, though.
Only saying that because you were running him.
No, he's my halfling friend. I can talk to him and look him in his face when I'm talking to him. That's a good thing.
He was your halfling friend.
Oh, don't start that. I mean, Clovis is good. Maybe he's got this.
Yeah. I trust Clovis.
Would Clovis ever trust you again?
I'm sure he understands the gravity of the situation. That I had to prioritize.
Well, we may never find out.
I've been badly injured. I cannot take. I could go back and die with him.
But it's not like you can cast heal spells.
I can do that. Yes.
No, it's interesting. Dom plays with himself.
Yes. Doing a lot of playing with myself.
And of course, now we know what the sound of heavy metal boots sound like. It's...
It sounds oddly like a cherry keyboard.
Also, there is a strategy behind my move, more than simple cowardice, which is that I need to draw this group away from the other group, reduce them in number, draw them into a trap.
Okay.
What trap?
Whatever helps Otto sleep.
Well,
Okay.
if we stay and fight them there, then the others will turn up and join in. As long as we can separate this group. I've already taken one out.
Yeah, there's no real good ways to resolve this situation, really.
2 of them were badly injured.
Yes.
Okay, so Otto, as you turn tail and run from this group of skeletons that turns behind you, leaving Clovis in your wake behind you, you run back down these streets for the best part of a minute, and eventually you feel that magic give out, and you feel your legs slow down and return to normal. And as you sort of come to a jog and then to a stop, and you pause for a second to catch your breath, you hear nothing following you.
Oh, no.
What do you do?
I will hide somewhere.
Yeah, sure. Roll a stealth check for me.
Oh, 30. A natural 20.
30 for natural 20 for 30. Very, very nice. So as you're sort of glancing around looking for somewhere to hide, you can see that there is another collapsed house nearby, and even better, kind of as you spot it, you can see that the kind of middle floor appears to be intact, and you rush your way inside. It looks almost collapsed as it is, but because you are smaller, you can see that you're easily able to squeeze under the collapsed door frame and into the room beyond. You find the building that you're in to be relatively intact, and you're able to get up onto this middle floor of this building, and you sit there and you wait. How long do you wait for?
I ran for a minute, so I'll wait maybe 5 minutes to see if anything comes.
You sit there in silence, Otto, for 5 minutes, perhaps even 10 minutes.
Maybe 15. Maybe half an hour.
Yeah,
maybe half an hour.
Yeah, you sit there for half an hour. Absolutely. Just kind of controlling your breathing, not moving a muscle, just listening out for anything that might be creeping around near you. And you hear nothing. Half an hour passes. Nothing continues to pursue you, as far as you can tell.
How long have we been gone now?
Total, about an hour and a half since you left the rest of the group.
I will wait another half an hour.
Wait another half an hour, okay. Please roll another d10 for me. Roll a d8 for me, Otto.
A d8.
Actually, no, make it a d10.
D10. 5.
At the end of the next half an hour, Otto, you're listening out for anything, for any sign of Clovis or these skeletons pursuing you, and you don't hear them. You don't hear anything. Actually, that's a lie. As you're listening out intently for the sound of for the sound of anything, you start to hear a soft snuffling sound coming from outside the building. Sounds like something, some kind of creature is sniffing around the street. You hear this kind of soft chirping call. I don't know if that will come through on the microphone. I hope it does.
It came through my ears, so should do.
I will. Can I? I can't see anything.
I mean, you could put your head out of the building and have a look and see what's causing this noise if you like.
Yes, I'll do that.
All right, you look. Don't know why I'm going to bother rolling because
very, very cautiously and stealthily.
Yeah, well, you've got your fantastic roll from beforehand. Oh yeah, there's no way this is seeing you. You sort of look out. You chance a glance outside of the window, Otto, and you can see, just looking kind of in the centre of the street, you can see there's a very strange creature. Imagine a shrimp that is the size of a large dog, has 4 legs, and these kind of antenna that kind of lift up into the air and seem to be kind of exploring the air around it. This creature, you can see it's just wandering around, softly snuffling and sniffing for something. And you see these antennae kind of point roughly in your direction, Otto. And the creature kind of looks up, sniffs the air, looks over in your direction, doesn't seem to see you at all. And goes back to snuffling and continues down the street. And you can see that as it does so, it seemed to have been calling to some others of its kind, because you see two more of these creatures, perhaps a little bit smaller than the first, also come snuffling their way around the corner, and they follow this one off to the darkness.
Which direction?
You're not too sure where you've been running. You've kind of been going off of memory. They're definitely going away from where your comrades are.
Then I will very quietly leave my position and start heading back towards my comrades.
All right. So it's less than an hour again, so I won't have another wandering monster roll. Just as you're coming up on the end of your third hour away, Otto, you find your way back to this residential building where Alwyn and Otto were holed up, and you let yourself in. Your allies are there; they are unharmed, but there is no sign of Clovis.
We were attacked.
Where's Clovis?
I don't know. We fought them off as best we could, but in the end, we had to prevent them from coming this way, so I managed to lure them away. But I don't know about Clovis. He fought bravely, I think. Now I need some medicine. As you can see,
hang on.
The listeners can't see this, but I was shaking my head through all of that.
Where was that? You say, hang on, right? So there's a lot to process here. We encountered something.
Yes, we are surrounded by enemies.
Surrounded?
Yes.
What, the building?
You brought them back here.
They're a bit further away than that. I managed to lose them.
In every direction.
The direction we want to go is the direct opposite to the direction we came. We have to assume... I mean, there are several roads forking off, but generally going in the same direction. There's a Y-shaped fork. But we took the first junction. There were three possible routes, left, right, and centre. We took the centre route, and we encountered a ghastly battalion of armoured skeletons, which we fought as best we could. But in the end, I thought the best thing was to come back here and warn you.
And Clovis?
Right. What was? And where's Clovis? Yes.
I don't know. In the melee, I lost sight of him.
Should we go find Clovis?
You're not in a fit state, Dela.
No.
Neither am I, actually. I need some medicine.
Right, we'll come to that.
What is this? An interrogation? I came back to warn you that there is an enemy the other way as well, and we fought them. I killed one.
All right. All right, come over here then. And Alwyn will cast Lay on Hands on Otto.
Thank you.
Otto, you get back 9 points of healing.
9 points. Thank you.
Oh, no, sorry. No, I'm telling lies. You get back 18 points of healing.
18 points of healing?
1-8, yes.
1-8.
Amos.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm obliged to you.
Yes. Okay. you want to go with Otto and see if you can find Clovis?
I can do that.
I don't think we should go as a pair. That we came up against a formidable force.
All right, you can take Chardonnay with you.
Even so,
Maori.
we came up against an army.
Maori, do you want to go as well?
If you want my opinion, I think this place is dangerous, as Otto seems to have just proved. I think if we go anywhere, it should be all together.
Oh, Clovis.
Dela, I'm in the middle of trying to treat Dela, and
Yeah. We can't go till later, really.
yes, but Clovis might need our help. I mean, just to be clear, was Clovis still alive when you last saw him?
Yes.
That's the
Yes,
first
he
thing
was.
Otto said. That's not a lie. Sorry. That's He technically was still alive last time you saw him.
Yes.
How far away was he?
This was about an hour's. Otto, you'd been travelling for about an hour when you encountered
Yes.
this squadron.
An hour's march away.
Would Alwyn know if he can kind of take a couple of hours break in the treatment of Dela?
You know that if you did, you would need to start again from scratch. It's 8 hours of constant care you're giving her.
Is there some kind of hidden halfling mind meld telekinesis power that Dela can tap into to reach Clovis?
I'll tell you what, just roll a d20 for me, Dela. Let's see what you get.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. So, Dela, as you reach out your mind, searching for your halfling companion, you get no connection, but that's not unexpected.
There's nothing on the frequencies.
Dela does not, as far as I'm aware, have telepathic powers. However, what I will say is that listening to what Otto has told you, there is a feeling of dread in the pit of your stomach.
Oh, it's not good.
You know how you get that feeling in your gut when someone's about to give you bad news. It's like that.
Also, I encountered these cockroaches the size of dogs. I should mention that too. I don't know how dangerous they are. I didn't hang around to find out.
Dela and I have got to stay here. I really think. I think the rest of you should go find Clovis.
I'll go look for Clovis.
Yeah.
All right, if you say so.
All right.
Come on, Christian. Christian, you're with me. Alwyn, look after these people, and he gestures to the people you freed. I'm trusting you with my sister and all of these people. Don't let me down.
I will do my very, very best. Yes.
All right. Right. So, Otto, Amos, Maori, and Christian. It's another split party. And Chardonnay.
Chardonnay. Sending Chardonnay with them.
All right. What are you telling Chardonnay?
Telling Chardonnay to guard the party.
Yeah, sure. That's simple enough that I will interpret that for Chardonnay. So basically, he will attack anything that attacks the party.
I think
is fair.
Thinking, yeah.
Sure. Okay. So as Alwyn and Dela sort of continue working on Dela's illness, the rest of the group, and it's a split party again, folks.
Oh, don't look so happy.
I mean, hey, it's there's a reason you don't do it. That's what I'm saying. So Otto, Amos, with Maori and Christian in tow, you begin traversing back in the same direction that Otto had previously taken you. You travel back through these darkened streets, and you, Otto, you find the place where you had hidden yourself most recently. As you approach this building, you sort of listen around for any sign of these large shrimp-like creatures, and you certainly don't hear them. If they are moving around near you, they're keeping very quiet. They seem to be keeping out of your way.
I will tell the rest of the party this is where I encountered those strange giant cockroaches. So
Sure.
Keep your wits about you.
And you begin retracing your steps once more. Sort of, despite the fact that this city has been, quite clearly destroyed, that's actually somewhat made it easier to navigate. There are a lot of quite obvious landmarks. You can be like, oh, that's the broken pillar. Oh, that's the smashed storefront, that kind of thing. And you're able to retrace your steps very, very easily. And just as you're coming sort of within a minute or so of where this fountain was, you see slumped on the ground against the wall, small unmoving form of Clovis Cotton.
Go and inspect the body. Make sure, check he's alive.
As you get close, Brother Amos, you don't need a medicine roll to tell you that he's dead.
Well, he's dead.
He appears to have been... you can see that there is his rapier in his hand. It seems at the very last, realising he couldn't outrun these creatures, he opted to stand and fight. And he has been battered into submission, is the nicest way to say it. You can see evidence of being hit with a heavy metal shield. You see sword wounds and stab wounds. And I'm afraid Clovis Cotton is dead.
These things are fucking nasty, I'm telling you. Let's go back.
We should go back to the others.
Take a sword.
Dela's not there.
She's trying with her telekinesis really hard to get back in the house.
Dela, are you delirious or something? I mean,
I'm just trying to think.
I mean, you're dehydrated. Drink some water here.
Okay.
Right. So, Otto, Amos, and that group. What are you doing? Are you heading back to base, or are you continuing deeper?
I think we should head back to base.
We'll head back, but I'll take any useful stuff from Clovis.
Okay. So you sort of bend. Clearly, obviously, the most useful thing is his rapier, which is it's quite well made. It seems quite well balanced. You can see that it's got a little bit of a magical tingle as you pick it up. But on top of that, you also find that he has. There's a set of leather armor that is obviously sized for a halfling. That's now been ruined with the various sword strikes and all that sort of thing. But he also has. You see, he has a set of thieves' tools, and he has a small box containing like fake makeup and fake mustaches, that kind of thing. He has a disguise kit on him.
Interesting.
That could come in handy. Is there any trace of the skeletal warrior that I destroyed?
Of the one you destroyed, that was a bit further back along the road.
Before we got to Clovis?
Yes.
I would have pointed him out.
What I will say, Otto, I forgot to mention this a second ago, as you get close, you do see that around Clovis, you can see the destroyed bodies of two skeletons, turned mostly to dust.
This is what we're up against.
We should head back.
We should head back, yes.
Right, you head back, and as you begin making your way back to base, let's have Darren. You've not had that much to do today so far. Could you roll a d10 for me, please?
D10. Okay. 70.
So 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You make your way back to the place where Alwyn and Dela are holed up without incident. You find yourselves flinching at shadows, listening out for anything that might spring an attack on you. You make your way back. You encounter no other creatures. You are not accosted. You are back safely, although a team member down at your base, at your current base of operations. And that is where we're going to end for today, folks.
Damn.
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feeble Films production in association with Juicy Falls, music by Nazar Ryback from hooksounds.com, editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
So sad.
Yeah.
Poor
But
Clovis.
you know what? Right, so it's a thing, isn't it? We, as GMs, GMs often say, don't forget, running away is always an option. We do get told this a lot. So.
That's it. Otto has taken that to its logical extreme.
Well, yeah, it is always an option.
Oh, Clovis. What are we going to do now?
That is a question we will answer next time.
He did.
There's a fade into some sad music.